I'll
Nothing goes
introduce the
wrong.
pod. Should we call it one take? Because it's already been taken. It's already been taken.
At this point, so many film podcasts
One,
exist.
two.
Like
Okay, yeah, we'll just do one take.
it's gonna be really hard to find the right name.
Yeah, that's true.
I would just call ourselves TBD. just only. Actually, that probably exists too. Damn. Hold on. I got this.
Oh, PVDs. Okay, hold on. I
That
say we
has to
just.
exist. There's no way nobody's done that before. Let's see, podcast.
Okay.
Back on Spotify.
PBD. What's next? TBD. Damn it.
Is there one? Oh yeah, there's.
TBD with Tina Brown. There's a lot. TBD the radio show.
Wild interview.
Every name you can think of is probably already taken.
Crisis on
Wonder.
Infinite Pods.
The director's cut.
The director's cut.
There's probably 1,000 of those.
Final cut.
Okay, we're just gonna do one take because I like one takes in films, and I think everybody
Oh.
else does.
What about the final cut?
Oh wait, that's fine.
I don't see it
definitely
anywhere.
one, okay, yeah.
Stop.
No,
All right,
I like
there we
that.
go.
Let's just. All right, bang.
All right.
All right.
Okay, this has all been recorded, by the way. We didn't recorded that. That brainstorming was all in here. We'll
Right,
cut.
well,
You
Yeah,
can
that's
cut
going
that
on the
later.
episode too.
But I just want you to
No,
know
that's
that
going
is
on
now
the
in here.
episode.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, great. All right, Hayden, take it away.
Okay, welcome everybody to the first ever episode of the final cut. I'm here joined by Jacob and Miller.
Hey,
Um,
Jacob, you should probably say
would
something
everybody-
after he introduces you.
wait,
They know what your voice is.
wait.
I know, but if they're an audio listener, they have no idea who
yeah.
the fuck you are.
And then we have another host, Josiah, who cannot make it, sadly. He'll probably be in
Unfortunately.
another episode. All right, would everybody like to go around and say their favorite movie and their favorite filmmaker? Now, start us out. Who are we dealing with here? Yeah, Jacob.
Oh, okay. So I'm Jacob, and my favorite movie is One from the Heart by Francis Ford Coppola, and Francis Ford Coppola is also my favorite filmmaker.
Hell yeah. All right, I'll go next, I guess. My favorite filmmaker is Terrence Malick.
Mm.
And then my favorite film, I'd say Twilight. I love Twilight.
Miller.
Nice. What a great bad movie that is. I love it. No, I
Twilight's
genuinely
not
love
a
that
bad
movie. It's really fun. It is a really fun movie. I don't know if I don't know if I find it fun for the reasons that it was intended to be fun, but I find it very entertaining. Okay, all right. So my favorite film, I have a lot, but the one I always default to is the film Yi Yi by Edward Yang from the year 2000. And then my favorite director, again, I have a lot, and I feel bad always singling one person out, but I think David Lynch is probably the most defining director of my life so far, so I have to say him.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking David Lynch as another answer, but Malick.
Malick's great. I love Malick.
Yeah.
Days of Heaven is like,
Then
undeniable.
Coppola is probably
Beautiful.
third. So this group of directors is, I think, the best.
Does anybody know what just Josiah's is? Just to throw it out there.
Yeah. Let me check out his letterbox.
Just a hint to some flavor, because I feel like it'll be good to just get the full full breadth of what this taste is going to be. Because I fear Josiah, I know, has very particular takes about the movie we're going to talk about, and I'm worried that now it's just going to be an echo chamber of guys having the exact same reaction to a movie. He was really the wild card in this area.
It'll make it a short episode.
It will. It'll make it like
if I have to guess his favorite director, it maybe is Coppola, George Lucas, or Vincent Gallo, which I like Vincent Gallo, but that's his page. And then his favorite movie currently is Buffalo 66 by Vincent Gallo.
Interesting. All right, so
I
we'll ask
need to
him
watch
next
that.
episode.
You
Get
need to
him in
watch The
here.
Brown Bunny. You like The
I'm gonna
Brown
watch it
Bunny?
after this episode.
Wow.
I was thinking about watching it
Wow.
before. All right, what everybody like to say starting from last week, Tuesday, what we watched. This is something that looks like a movie pod does. And I like it, so.
Mhm.
So, I'll go first because I didn't watch that much last week. 'Cause I was stuck in Maine on a road trip. Alright, so last week on the 16th, I watched The Phoenician Scheme at the Lincoln Theater. It was sold out, packed, with a bunch of old people. Great movie, one of Wes Anderson's best, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. It's the most, like, I think Benicio del Toro delivers maybe the best performance in a Wes Anderson movie besides Ralph Fiennes. But love that movie. On the 17th, I watched Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice by Snyder. I did not. I used to hate Snyder, but ever since watching some of his movies, I really liked it. In this movie, I finally think I understood what he kind of is going for with the film. After that, I watched Popstar Never Stop Poppin' with Andy Samberg, one of my favorite comedies. Incredible. On the 19th, I watched Hannibal Rising, one of
Okay.
the worst movies I've ever seen. 19th, I watched Intoxicating Tides by a good friend of mine, Aya Gratas. Great movie. 19th, I watched Twist again by Coppola, digital masterpiece. 20th, I watched Blowout by uh, De Palma for the first time. And in my review, I said I think it's the most important movie of all time. People say like Jaws is, and I do believe that Jaws is. Blowout, I think, is as good.
Oh,
Then I watched
well,
Eddington, which Eddington was pretty good. And then I watched Summer's Tale by Romer. Incredible French film. Beautiful. And then after that, I watched Starman by Carpenter. Really like that. Then today I watched Rashomon by Kurosawa. Really good narrative film. One of the best. Then a
yeah.
couple hours ago I watched Whimsical Illusions. Because Jacob put it, and it was pretty
Hell
good.
yes.
And that's what I watched. And then I watched Superman like 2 weeks ago, and I so yeah,
All right, Jacob.
that's what I watched.
My list is pretty long, so Miller, would you like to go next?
Then yes, I will go next. All right, I'll go ahead and start with last Monday just because it'll pad mine out a bit longer, and I feel like mine will be short if not. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the 14th. And I watched Fist of Fury that day. Bruce Lee, my first Bruce Lee joint. It is fun at points and funny at others, and then also really sloppy overall. So it's all right. It's a good time. It's entertaining, but not the most flawless work of martial arts filmmaking I've ever seen. But certainly very impressive. 28 years later, I then saw that later that day. Which is a film that I had no expectations for, and if anything, very low to almost negative expectations for, just because I don't like zombies that much. They're not my bag. I really enjoy the ones that I've seen that are good, like Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead. I love,
Yeah.
but like I'm not. I would never say like zombies are my main monster. I kind of find them boring. But 28 years later was an amazing work of filmmaking that I genuinely am continuously impressed by. Then on the 18th, I saw The Intern, Nancy Meyers film. Surprisingly good. I am in the bag for Nancy. 100%. I will watch most of her stuff. The 20th, I saw Superman again for the something time. We'll talk about it. It was not my first rewatch, and it was certainly not my last. Midnight in Paris, I then saw on the 21st for another run that I've rewatched a lot. It's probably one of my favorite guilty pleasures, I guess. I don't really feel a lot of guilt for it, but I really do enjoy that film on a very subjective level. Then I saw, on the same day, I saw Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Actually, this is all yesterday. I saw Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which is such a shrug of a movie. I have no I literally ended the movie and was like, I have no emotions about any of this. I didn't even hate it. I just had no strong feelings in any direction whatsoever. I could have been watching paint dry and I would have been like, this is as as entertaining as Rise of the Silver Surfer. Um, and then I finished off the day by rewatching Something's Gotta Give. And then earlier this morning I watched Suspiria, the 1977 version, by
Awesome.
Argento, yeah. And it was incredible. So
That's
Jacob,
now go,
the
Jacob.
Suspiria is great.
would you like
All
to take
right,
it away?
so yeah, on the 15th, I was on a plane, so I knocked out as many movies as I could. So I watched the first movie I watched was Scanners. It was interesting, and then I watched House and a little flick I haven't even heard of, 92 in the Shade. It was on Criterion. It was pretty interesting. And then I watched Autumn Samana. I butchered that completely terribly, but it's Bergman's highest rated flick, and it's his highest rated for a reason. And then I watched 2022's EO, which was phenomenal. And then the next day, on the 16th, I only watched one movie in theaters, and that was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It was a 35 millimeter scan, and it was beautiful. And the next day, on the 17th, I watched Vertigo and Superman, which we'll be talking about today. And on the 18th, I watched The Shrouds before I watched Jurassic World Rebirth in theaters. And then on the 19th, I watched Fallen Kingdom. Don't know why. And 20th, I watched Days of Thunder. The 21st, at midnight, I watched Eddington. And then I also watched Whimsical Illusions. And today, before the pod, on 22nd, I watched Avatar.
Yeah, I love
Wow.
Avatar.
Look at us.
Great movies, guys. Except
Yeah,
for
not
the
bad at all.
Jurassic World. I
You
don't know
watch good
why.
movies.
I was gonna say the Jurassic World
Dinosaurs.
twofer is unfortunate. A movie,
Dinosaurs,
one of
man.
those I have
What
not
can I
seen,
say?
and it'll not be the one you think it is.
All right.
Um,
Shall we get into the movie that we are gonna talk about today?
yeah, introduce it,
I
Hayden.
said
Come on.
so.
So today's episode is about James Gunn's Superman. Starring David Cornslet as Superman and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I think everybody here liked it. I think we all
Yep,
liked it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
loved
it's
it.
just yeah. Yeah, so anybody would like to say why they liked it, or
Well, I think I can go first because I feel like I have many strong feelings about this film. Um, I have seen it now 4 times in theaters. The last time I saw
Ooh.
it was again on this last Sunday, and I keep going back. I wrote a whole piece about this on my website, a whole blog post about why I keep coming back to this movie. But it was enchanting. I mean, it kept it put this feeling in me like that I had to then feel again. Like it really does. It creates such an intoxicating world and such an intoxicating energy and tone that you just, the minute I came back to my normal life, I was like, I have to have that again, and I have to feel
Mm.
those feelings and that like energy just course through me again. And the last time I felt that about a movie was ages ago. Like I can't remember the last time I came out of a theatrical experience that jazzed. It might have been it might have been Infinity War, but honestly, I think it is even older than that as far as like superhero
Mm.
energy goes. Like I feel like it has to have maybe been the Avengers. Like was the last time I fully came out of an experience going that, or maybe Guardians. Actually, Guardians is probably the last time I came out of a theatrical experience for a superhero film going, this is I need to see this again as soon as possible. And not just at home, but like in a theatrical environment. Like I knew I had to be in a theater surrounded by people seeing it for the first time, but also under those pounding speakers in front of that big screen. Like it had the same feeling to me as like when I came out of Oppenheimer 2, where I was like, I only ever want to see this film in a theater. And I feel like
Mm.
this urgency to go back because I don't know how long it's going to be there, and I don't know how many opportunities I will have to then see this in a theater. And that's a good feeling to have. Like that's what you want from the theatrical experience. At least that's what I want. Like is this compulsion to experience that feeling again. And I can't, it doesn't happen often. And I'm surprised it was this movie. I'm as surprised as anybody that it was this movie because I don't have this kind of response to superhero films anymore. And I was kind of glad up until I saw this movie. And then I saw this movie and I was like, oh, never mind. I remember why I liked these. I don't want them to go
Mm.
away. I really do enjoy these films. And that's a good feeling to have. It's good. That's something that not even the best Marvel film recently had done for me. I like Thunderbolts, but that did not give me that feeling. I was still fine with Marvel dying, and that wasn't good.
Mm.
Like I don't want to feel that now. Now I want these things to persist in some way. Maybe not like billion-dollar grosses with like hundreds of million-dollar budgets, but like I would enjoy these things to like continue in some form and in a strong way. And I think Gunn could. So that's my, I guess, initial input and feeling on it. Should we just popcorn it to Jacob? Jacob, you want to go?
I think most people are in the hands of Gunn right now and trust James Gunn. And I am one of those people because, I mean, as I do previously like the Snyder Universe, but this is a whole different turn. This is taking it back to pre 9/11 filmmaking. This is where world was happy. It, every day was worth living. It was sunshine and rainbows. And it's kind of just lovely to see that in movies again. And just instead of bleak and dark, which is somewhat what the world is, but I think we need colors and again in movies.
Yeah. So I was never really a big Superman fan growing up as a kid. My connection with him wasn't like very good. Like Man of Steel, I didn't really care for when I watched it. And Batman v Superman, didn't I didn't like really care for as well. But like the first couple seconds where it's the opening, the title crawl and the words, it made me like cry. It made me, cry
Mhm.
tears of joy. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
it's a very powerful film. In terms of hope and, you know, and many other things, but it really made me happy, and it made me,
Mm.
it's the same feeling. It's like on the level that the Avengers 2012, as Billy said, had on, superhero films and film in general. With this, it just takes you back to, like, I don't know. It's just, I really liked it. It's just, if a film can make me cry in the first couple seconds and make me care about a character I didn't, have a connection with, and now I want to see more of this character, I think the film, a film like that succeeds in ways that others do not. And I'm excited to see what James Gunn has, whatever he has loaded. But I think it's a really good film for 2025. And um, yeah,
And
Yeah.
I saw Superman with one of my parents, and they this reminded them back when the Avengers came out, with the audiences and everything. Is everyone is seeing Superman? Everyone that even people you wouldn't normally see going to a comic book movie
Yeah.
is going to see Superman. Like James Gunn brought in
yeah,
a whole new audience for like even just movie going experiences in general, and I couldn't appreciate that more.
Yeah. No, it's really, it is an impressive needle to thread where you can like both really make happy the comic fans, but also like and just like the fans of the character in all media, mostly minus some detractors, but like for the most part, really making everyone happy who loves the character, and then also really making a character that's accessible and interesting and compelling on an emotional level for audiences that don't care about dogs and capes or nanobots or whatever or pocket universes. Like that's the one thing James has always been good at because Guardians 2 did really well with like people that weren't into comics. Like I knew old folks that were like seeing that movie back when I was growing up. Like
Yeah.
I knew my aunt and uncle went with me to it the first time I saw it, and I was able to talk my uncle into taking me again. And he was older because he's my dad's brother. So like he was like in his, I think at that point, either late, I want to say late 50s, like maybe early 60s, and he was like still willing to go and see that movie again because he actually had a small like compulsion to. And that's hard to do. I mean, I don't know. Like the box office for Thunderbolts like was okay opening weekend and then plummeted hard.
Yeah.
And not to keep comparing, I don't want to compare Marvel and DC the whole time because that feels reductive and unnecessary because they're not doing the same thing right now. But the fact
Yeah.
that Superman has so much staying power right now, only dropping to 54% in its second week, like that's impressive for any movie to do anymore. I mean, the only things that
I'm
did that
seeing it
recently are probably like
again.
Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it again tomorrow, and my showing is still sold out.
That's impressive. And I can't, I
And
felt the same way about Barbie too, where I was like, if any movie can get this many people that energized about going to something, how can I say that thing's even close to bad? Like that's impressive. Like
yeah,
that's a good feat to have when your artistry and especially your artistic voice, which I think we should then talk about a bit about like what James brings to this movie that like other filmmakers maybe don't to theirs. But like it's a really impressive feat to have something that singular and that specific that appeals to so many people because it has a voice to it and is accessible. I think those two things going hand in hand are really impressive. But if that's okay with everyone, I think we should talk about that, like what James is
Yeah.
doing here and why he is so far probably the most impressive superhero filmmaker to date, or most. Uh,
to
I
date,
don't know.
yes.
No, I mean, but like most like he's consistent and consistently good, not even just
Yeah.
consistently fine, like
Mhm.
good. And why do we think that is? And why do we think he still is like innovating and getting better? Like, what are your thoughts on James after this? Hayden?
Um. Well, I like Guardians 1, 2, 3, and the Suicide Squad. So I like his writing. I do think it's a little, can be a little iffy sometimes. But after this, I just have a lot of respect for him because, to to make a new Superman movie after everything that, Snyder did and the old DC universe and still make it this good, I think is something that I don't think any other filmmaker could do. And um, you know, adapting Superman is kind of hard because some people don't understand how to write him. But I think in this, it's probably for me or in general the best what's it called, like adapted Superman for any film. But I like him even more now. I think I just can't wait to see what he does next. Really love his writing in this, and I think that he is probably our best, person to direct a comic book movie or superhero movie
Yeah.
today. And what, I don't want to compare Marvel, but what they did with him, it's a loss on their part after seeing
Mhm.
Superman. So
Yeah.
that that's definitely, yeah.
Jacob, what about you? What were your
So
thoughts on James?
James, first of all, I think he needs to get a new DOP. I've said this before. I'll say it
I agree.
again. But the way he's able to like throw in these like group of people and just in this short amount of time and make you care so much about them, and they're all these movies and each and every single one of the characters he's dealt with have felt like a family on screen, and there's always a family aspect in his superhero films, and you can really feel that energy, and I don't think anybody else is doing that like James right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the thing I really appreciate about him, and I think it's some people don't. I know there's a couple people that don't find his like humor or like his small like his like every once in a while he'll pause for a bit in his screenplays, which I know don't play for
Mm.
everyone. But I since his humor works for me, I enjoy it. But he has a really good sense of heart, and I don't ever find it manipulative either. It feels very strong. It feels very truthful to something, and it always if you follow all of his films, he always has a very similar approach to family, and it's both finding it, but it's also like the realization of the family you actually have. Like the Yondu relationship in Guardians 2 is probably the closest thing to kind of what the arc is here. I mean, it's not a direct one-to-one, but like there is that same kind of like who's your actual family is, what they actually are doing for you, as opposed to what your like the actual genetic family did for you or was trying had like what parents, what the aspirations and what the hopes of parents are, and like what true what the best parenting is, as opposed to like directives, and how parents should be there to like direct and guide and nurture, even if they're yondu, like that kind of relationship's very much here. And I think specifically with this film, I think it's very obvious that it's Gunn as a writer kind of reaching his like almost some of his best work. I mean, the scene between Lois and Clark is probably one of the best written scenes he's ever done. And I think I've heard him talk about in like interviews how it was like one of the longest scenes he's ever written, and he doesn't like writing scenes that long because he's worried about people losing interest. But I think it actually shows that he's a very strong, not just dialogue writer, but strong writer of character, and really strong. He does a good job of conceiving of these exchanges and how to pace them and how to guide them in the right direction and not make them overstay their welcome. And to me, like the strength of that scene with a couple others throughout the film really show me that he's like he has a very strong directorial and almost auteurist kind of like compulsion. He has his very specific things that he wants to do. He has certain tastes that he has narratively. And it gives me hope because like having a director not just direct this movie, but then who's supposed to head this future thing creatively, who has such like a definitive taste and guiding and this like guiding force directing where the future of this thing's going to go. I think is really strong and helpful. And I like Feige's done an amazing thing over at Marvel, like truly. And I think we sometimes lose track of it because it's become kind of abstract and rough. But those first 10 years are an impressive feat, just in general. Like movies being that were never something that was possible. And I have my issues with Marvel, but like that was never something that we could have conceived of in like the 90s. Like a franchise going like that, being that interconnected and not being a direct like 1, 2, 3 thing was just not possible. So he's impressive, but he is kind of overextended, and it's hard to like be that much of creative input when you're also managing like finances and budgets and also like talking with then your like the higher ups at your parent company and trying to like manage all that. And since DC Studios has the co-head situation, I actually think that probably puts them in a better position. And the fact that James only ever has to deal with creative decisions or creative guidance, like that's strong and that's really helpful. And Peter Safran is also just an incredibly talented producer.
Yeah.
So the two of them together have worked together before on Suicide Squad, and they work together on this. And I think they're just a good pair. And the two of them together, I think really it gives me hope because I'm enthusiastic at the possibilities of the future. But I didn't need those like before this movie. Like I came into this movie going, I just want this to be good, and I'm glad it was. So anyway,
What did we think about David Cornsett as Superman? The main guy.
He is Superman.
yeah, he is Superman. I mean, I love Reeves a lot. Like, and I watched all the movies before this because I was like I did a marathon to try to like get ready, and Reeves is like undeniable. And still now he is. I don't want to like take that away from him. He's also Superman. But this out of Ralph and Cavill and like every other Superman that came after, this Corn Sweat's the only one who I've ever felt like while watching this is Superman. And that speaks volumes to him and who he is as an actor, because he's already a great actor, but also like how much James understands the character, I think. I mean, it's the two of them working together, and you can't discredit either one of them for that. So it's a great performance, truly. What about you, Hayden?
Yeah, he is Superman. I think he's also Clark Kent, but I think a lot of the way he performs as Superman is like straight out of comic book, like, changing his voice from, to something, very stoic. But I just you know, I think he was just perfect. Like Cavill's a very different Superman. I think that a lot of Supermans are very different, and it's hard to compare them. But Corn Sweat, I think, is maybe the best because of he just if he looks like Superman, okay, and I mean he acts like what I would like Superman to be, you know, saving as much people as possible, putting himself at risk. But then, say the scene where he saves the squirrel, you
Mhm.
know,
Dude.
a great scene. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like watching it, and when I was watching, I was like, this is just Superman. This is
Mhm.
He
this
cares.
is
Yeah,
yeah, this
it's a
is
surprisingly low bar we needed him to clear, but it's amazing to watch a man who actually gives a shit. That's incredible. Yeah, no, it's great. I tear up during my first watch of the movie. Every single time he saved anything, I genuinely teared up, and I
yeah,
did
same.
not know that that was like that. Again, that's all he had to do. Like if Cavill did that like maybe two more times in Man of Steel, maybe I would have also been like a lot warmer towards that movie. But like, and like even Reeve, like he doesn't do it as much as you would like him to either. Like there's a lot of like, and that's not him, that's not the actor, that's the writing. But like
Right. Yeah.
in this post, like the movie being out, there's been a lot of like talk on the internet about who the character is and what he's not, and like what he's supposed to do and who he is and as a person, which is kind of abstract because the character could be anything, but like people have been talking about how he's like a firefighter and not a cop, and I was like, that is true. Like ultimately,
That's
that is who the character is. Like he's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
he has all this power,
I mean
and the stakes come from him like how he uses it to then protect people as opposed to like just beating guys up. Like he never has to punch a criminal that much. Like especially if he's like a robber, he just has to grab him. Like that's the real like stake of it, and he's mostly stopping natural disasters because he can. He's mostly like stopping people from going into tornadoes normally because he can. Like like that's who he is as a person, and that's fun. And seeing that on screen is like it's a low bar to set like to get over, but like once you step over it, that's you've got the character to me. Like that's who he's supposed to be. It's like
Mm.
an inspiration for then other heroes to like follow. Like even Batman, like Batman's as heroic as Superman is to a degree, but like, and I do think that's another thing that people forget about that character as well. But like, the thing that I think bugs Batman about Superman the most is that how good he is, and like that's
Mhm.
also like something that challenges Batman to then be better. Also, that's why they're a fun duo because I think they're both like pushing each other to be better, and so
Because in the Justice League shows, they're always one-upping each other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both really great. I enjoy, but like I'm saying, like Superman's just it's seeing him save people is just fun and should be fun. And anyone who comes out of that movie going he saved him, he didn't punch enough things, I'm like, all right. I feel like you
You
weren't
got
really
that
investing in
wonderful
the
sequence.
story. I feel,
You got that wonderful sequence at the end, though. That
yeah, I guess,
was
yeah,
crazy.
which is fine. I will say, like, how do you guys think about the fighting? Because I do think it's not all of it's James's best set like fight sequences. I do think he's said better, but I do think that's partly just the character. Like, what were your guys' thoughts
Yeah,
and takeaways from
it's
like the fight sequences of the movie? I mean, there's one in particular that I think we should talk about, but it doesn't even involve Superman. But
Um. Yeah. I think the fighting is. I think it's fine. It's like good to watch. Um. I like some other James Gunn's, like Suicide Squad 2021, the scene with
yeah,
Harley Quinn, where she's doing. I think that's probably his best.
yeah,
And in this, it's what I expect from his interpretation of Superman is he flies, punches, uses the vision. Yeah,
this,
but
yeah,
but I think it's very good. There's a couple of them that I didn't necessarily like. Um, I think specifically, well, no, I like the kaiju fight. I think the first fight with the Hammer of Arabia, I didn't
mhm,
really like that much. Or yeah. Other than that, it's very serviceable. I'll say that it's very,
yeah,
above par. Of I don't want to compare it to Marvel, as I said, but like what we saw in what's it called, Captain America: Brave New World.
mm, It is. It's better than that.
Yeah, it's better than a lot
Now
of.
it's a very again that's very
That's a
low. I
low
don't
bar.
that's a low one to exceed again. I think I think it's
But
better than a lot.
but um
Yeah.
yeah, I like, and same with the flying scenes. I like the flying scenes a
Yeah.
lot. Um, I think they're really good.
Yeah.
But I think the fighting is serviceable. I think it could be improved on with, as Jacob said, getting a new possible DOP. We could,
Mm,
get into, Larry Fong or something like that to do it.
mm.
But I like it. Jacob, what do you think about the fighting?
Fighting, I feel like serves the movie and Superman very well. It's a comic book movie. It feels like a comic book.
Hmm.
It feels like you're reading a panel, and
Yeah.
since I've been reading a lot more recently of comic books, it kind of almost brought a tear to my eye. Like having that type of style in this type of movie is just like,
Mm. It's also unafraid to have that style or like those like
uh,
elements or concepts. Like it's so unabashedly like willing to incorporate things from All Star or like the golden like Silver Age and
Yeah,
like confidently. I mean, even like the use of the
yeah,
S from
no,
Kingdom Come is like just. I mean, most people would be too probably afraid to switch it up that much. Um, and like Gunn's just like, no, I want to do this S, and I want to do robots in the Fortress of Solitude, and I want to do Crypto the Superdog, and like that's fun, and like that kind of like bombastic, like you know unrelenting acceptance of like what the source material has to offer, like an embracing of it is like really fun and to see because not a lot of people do that. Like we've lived in this era of superhero films being so relatively conservative, I guess. I mean, Marvel succeeded because it like was willing to finally like be a little bit less like safe, whereas like the X-Men Singer movies, like the original trilogy, were so like we don't wear spandex. Like that was always the bit. That was the 2000s superheroes. They were like, we need to justify our existence in this world. We have to really try to like even like Nolan's movies were so rooted in like him needing to explain how this works because he had to justify it to himself. He's like, I gotta find a reason for this guy to make sense.
yeah,
Um, and then now I think we've hit this period where we're like, we don't need to see this all the time. Like, I'm so tired of seeing these self-serious characters, and I don't think until now it's been clear why. Now that we've seen this whole like a willingness to ground it emotionally, but then also really expand the world in that creative and free way. I think now, which comics had done, like they grounded things emotionally and then really kind of like tried to then have fun with the world building outside of that. Gunn fully embracing that has finally like illuminated why we like comics to begin with, and why other people can like comics characters on the screen too. And I think we just need to keep pushing the needle on that. I think at least that's my takeaway from the movie. It's just that I think now it's time to really not just change like Wanda's costume to be more like comic book accurate. Like let's really like push the world building out and really like expand it and really try to like craft a narrative that makes use of that bigger world. And I think that's what this movie does great. I mean, the inclusion of the Justice Gang, which I think we should talk about too, is like a really
oh, yeah.
strong decision and important to like not just make this just a Superman film. And some people have had problems with it and some people haven't, but I think it's a strong decision that I think works for me because it helps the plot. But what do you guys think? What are your takeaways from like the additions, especially the Justice Gang?
I really liked it. I felt like it was a movie that, instead of, as you said, X-Men, which kind of made fun of comic books and kind of, was saying that they were lame, or Nolan's world where it puts, Batman into, Chicago. It's kind of like this is a world that is like something that we can't imagine existing in our world. And I think that's really cool. And adding these, the Justice Gang like Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific, these characters that you wouldn't expect have such a big role in a Superman movie. I think was really cool, and I think that's something that James Gunn does really well is give spotlight to characters who usually wouldn't have um, a lot. But adding Crypto to Dog is something that I thought I would have never seen in a modern day, you know, um, comic book
Yeah.
movie because of how silly and goofy it is, which I think it works very well in its favor. And like, I don't want to compare it to Raimi's Spider-Mans because those movies are gems, but kind of what he did with making, a very, comic book movie. It is a comic book movie. It feels like a comic book, which I think is what I wanted out of Superman, and we got it. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Like, it's that feeling and that willingness to like I don't know. I think that's the thing that I found the most intoxicating about it, especially like and why I kept coming back for like multiple rewatches is because he creates like Metropolis isn't a city that I know. Like it's they've shot a lot of it in like whether it's Cleveland or Cincinnati. It was Cleveland, right? They
Cleveland,
shot
yeah.
a lot of it in Cleveland. And they've like and obviously there are like in the like realization of the city there's like elements that I'm like hey that's kind of New York but kind of not but if there's nothing it really feels like this other place and that's what I love about this world like it's not ours and yet there's things that are like similar to our world like there's coffee shops there's people that I like have kind of seen in the streets there's a lady with the turtle who I know um, there's all these things that are like hey this makes sense this is like relatable I know these people but you can have so much more freedom when you create Metropolis as this place that doesn't exist to me. And that makes it so much more alluring. It's why I come to things like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or like these other worlds all the time, is because they're not things I know. Whereas like New York in Marvel movies is just, I can visit that. Like,
There's
Yeah.
it's not
no
foreign to
substance.
me. Yeah. And like even Raimi's New York is like more of its own entity, its own world. Like that's alluring because it has its own identity. Whereas like for the last
Character in
couple
the
of
movie.
years, we haven't had that, and I've missed it. And so that's why I'm excited about this because even now, like Gunn's like, yeah, there's no like cities that really. It's all like Gotham or Metropolis or Central City or Keystone City. He's just gonna do that. It's like there won't be a direct parallel. And I feel like that's so much more liberating. When you're creating a world from scratch, you have so much more freedom. And this movie relishes in that fact. It starts you from the like in the middle of like metahumans existing for 300 years. And the minute those words popped on the screen, I was like, "Oh, this is fun." Like you've created a sandbox for yourself to play in and for everyone else to play in. And you're dropping us in the middle, and now that gives you so much freedom to do whatever the hell you want. Like you could do now, you can do like just the Justice Society, or you can do legend like anything else. What's the future Justice League? Isn't it? I forgot. I want to say Legends, but that's not. No, that's CW. Anyway,
They're
you could do
making
anything. That's fun. It's liberating.
Jacob, you like to
Yeah. It will be interesting to see where the next 10 years fall.
Hmm.
Um, because there's again, it's kind of placed in otherworldly aspects, which I feel like the only thing in recent times that has done that for me is Dune.
Hmm.
And but even comparing, I can't even compare the world of Dune or Arrakis to Metropolis, but the same feeling is the same, and it's almost inedible. And I think James Gunn's world building really does enhance that feeling of, oh yeah, we're not thrown into Chicago or New York or any place that we know of that are in the United States. We're in Metropolis. We are in Gotham City,
Hmm.
and that's kind of, I think, how the characters need to be again.
Do you think that kind of like impulse to create like a world that's different to ours, but has like some analogous situations or like points of reference or symbols, which we could also talk about. But like, do you think having that singular world is like indicative of our general headspace in our like modern times? Does it speak to like a this like tired
Yeah, I
nature
mean,
of like the gritty and like realistic and relatable? Do you think we're tired of that as a society? Do you think we need escapism more now than we did
yeah, no,
10 years ago? Like,
People need more escapism. That's why we
mm,
go to the movies in the first place.
Oh,
Um, like movies are an escape route for me, like,
Yeah.
and seeing these bright and cheerful and sometimes lonely cities are was liberating for me, and that's why I go to the movies.
Hayden?
yeah. Yeah, I think making it, different from our world is a very good and great idea because it puts us into that world. And as Jacob said, the reason why we go to these movies is not to see, what's going on, you know, here. I mean, sometimes you could go see a movie if you want to see that, but with Superman, I sat down for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I was in Metropolis. I saw Superman. And I think that's what is really good about it is instead of seeing, like New York or Chicago or any of these big cities, Metropolis is its own realm um, of different buildings and people and so many other things. Like the Lex Luthor court, how it's a you know kind of a bridge to this spaceship is like or
Mm.
not or ship or whatever. It's something that we wouldn't see in our world, obviously, but I think it works in its favor
Mm.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. So should we now talk about the Mr. Terrific fight scene? I feel like that's where we all want to go, is what's happening. We're all just guiding
Uh,
there. Like that's the best fight of the movie, right? Right? No?
I,
Jacob, you
I'm
don't agree?
I'm thinking of I'm thinking of every
I
other
wouldn't say
scene.
it's the best. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's really
What's the
good.
best fight of the movie?
Fun.
Throw
Oh,
throw out an alternative.
easily the Superman and Krypton team up. I mean, they were
Mm,
just doing combos, and it was like,
mm.
yo.
I think that's the most emotionally like I don't know, like compelling. I think that's the one I built up the most like internally for. But like I feel like the most visually like impressive and exhilarating is the Mr. Terrific scene to me at least. Like that's the scene where I was like,
Well,
oh, this is James. This is where James can really like let loose with his juice. Like this is where he wants to do. He wants to do stuff with like these kinds of characters. I mean, same thing with like when Yondu was doing the stuff in Volume Two. Like you can tell this is when like Gunn is like able to fully realize a character that's like grounded. The Harley thing in the Suicide Squad, which is probably one of my favorite fight scenes ever devised. Like
Yeah,
he really relishes in like grounded characters, and I feel like that's where he is able to conceive of the best ideas on how to like really flesh them out. But and then like Superman, it's fun, but like I will give credit to Snyder, who I won't do a lot, but like there are a few moments when I'm watching Man of Steel where I'm like, okay, this guy really does have an idea of how to like make these fight scenes and these like characters seem like they have a lot of power and like really make
mm,
them engaging in how they're fighting. Now, that immediately falls apart within like a second of me thinking that thought. Like he'll immediately do something where I'll be like, no, though. Like now you've done too much. Like you've overcorrected. But like, and Gunn does lack some of that like oomph. And I do really enjoy that like scene where he is finally in the air, fighting the Raptors. Like that scene has some juice, but like it's not the same as like Terrific using his T spheres to like electrocute dudes.
yeah,
To me, like it's not the same vibe exactly. I do wish those two things could mesh a bit
just,
better because one emotionally satisfied me and the other one was more just like visually entertaining. But
mm, just feel like
anyway,
the Mr. Terrific fight scene feels a lot like the Guardians 3 fight scene, and we've seen that before already, and that's why it's kind of not number one for
mm,
me.
okay, all right, Hayden, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this
um, oh,
debate?
Mr. Terrific was the biggest surprise in the
Oh
movie
yeah,
for me. But the fight scene I liked quite a bit. Like when I was watching, I was like, "Oh, this is fun," because you got a good song in the background, and then you got Mr. Terrific, kicking ass, and then
yeah,
but I feel like it's the reason why it's not my favorite is
mm,
because there's a lot bigger fight scenes in the movie that I like a lot more.
mm,
I like the kaiju fight quite a bit. Because
yeah,
Superman, I like that one quite a bit, and then I like the Crypto and Superman team up because that's what I
Mm,
like. And
mm,
like a bunch of superhero movies is when, two characters team up and use, different combos, like something you see in like Marvel Rivals or something.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So I'm
But
up.
but
I just got demolished, I think, is what's happening.
no. Listen. Hey,
No, no,
I
no.
Me
think
too.
I agree. I actually think you guys are right now. I think you're convincing me I'm wrong.
no, but
But I
terrific
think you need
books.
to see it again.
I got to see it a
See.
fifth time, I guess, is the solution.
um, but what do we think about Lois Lane? I want to get to
She's
that in a
amazing.
second.
I think this is actually my
Better
favorite
Amy Adams.
characterization of her. Yeah, that is
I
true.
agree.
Ah.
But it's like this is a Lois who's strong and like not just in distress. Like she has a lot of like verve and she's
Mhm.
energetic and she's a go-getter and she's strong-willed and she's not necessarily the strongest person on the planet, but she has the like compulsion and the boldness and the energy and the strength to like really go out and do what she can for not just and like primarily for the people she cares about, but also to find the truth. And that's like a really interesting character to
Mhm.
follow, and it's more compelling than a lot of them like Lois Lanes we've gotten. And I like Margot Kidder a lot, but she's not written that way per se, and she's doing the best she
No.
can to like give her that energy, and she does a good job like making her also strong and like really like snappy and kind of witty and can't spell, but like she's going for it. And she also drinks a lot of sugar in her coffee, but like she's not the same. Like and like Rachel's written very well, but also Rachel is able to bring this like really strong character to life in a very meaningful way to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And she was fun to watch, and I love Rachel Brosnahan a lot. She's a gorgeous woman who's a very strong performer and incredibly captivating to watch, both on a skill level and just as a visual star. I mean, she's great, truly amazing, and she's
Mhm.
made the transition to film really well, and has a bright future. I think if she wants it on film. So there we go. Anyway, what about you guys? Did you see Marvelous Miss Maisel? Is anybody tapped into the Maiselverse? Has anybody?
No, I
Nah.
I know the show because I've seen her get nominated for Emmys and Golden Globes and stuff. But
Yeah.
I really she was maybe my second favorite character, maybe tied with
Yeah.
David Corn. So I mean, the best scene in the movie is arguably the 12-minute
Yeah.
dialogue piece, which I think could have gone on for longer because
Yeah. I could have
Oh
had
yeah.
more of them.
I could have, and that's my I think biggest complaint in the movie is I kind of wanted more of their
Mhm.
relationship.
Yeah. I've heard this before.
Um, yeah, I wanted a little bit more because that's what I was kind of invested in.
Hmm.
Is other than Superman going on his adventures and stuff, and I get what Gunn was trying to go for with trying to tell a lot of stuff in one film, but she was just so good in the movie that I feel like I wanted more between both of them. The other great scene in the movie is where um he finds out what his parents said, and he's telling him like you are a good person, I'm pretty sure. That's another great scene. I think that
Yeah.
she plays the role super well, and I don't want to compare it to like Amy Adams, but um I just feel like she gives her a personality kind of, and she's yeah, I just really liked her performance and what she's doing with Lois Lane in this film.
Yeah. Jacob, anything you want to say? Because
I mean, yeah. We said it before, and we'll say it again. It's better than Amy Adams. Um,
again, a really low bar we
but
set for ourselves. No,
Well,
I like
yeah.
Amy's a really good actress. I don't know why her character is not good in those movies. I do know
Oh,
why, but
it's
her character is just not good at those movies.
no, I don't know, but this is again like everything in this movie is so new and refreshing, and even new character style of Lewis Lane is completely different from 78, right? 78
Yes,
Superman,
78, yeah.
that's
78.
yeah.
Year after
and
Star Wars, yeah.
yeah, and it's like you said, she's powerful in this movie. Like anyone and on their screen in this movie brings their all. They are all powerful, and she really kind of challenges Superman as well, which I don't
Hmm.
think
Oh yeah.
Amy Adams, Lois
Yeah,
Lane
that
does at
yeah.
all in the DCEU. or DC.
It's whatever.
DCU?
Who cares? It doesn't exist.
DC. DC.
No, but like that's an interesting point because I've thought about this a lot too. It's interesting how much she's like, and I don't mean this. People keep putting this out as like it's a negative, but like Superman is powerless a lot in this movie, and I don't think it's because, but it's not physical. Like he's only ever outmatched by, I guess, spoiler alert, but himself. Like strength wise, and the only things that really challenge him are people or like perceptions. And Lois challenges him as a person, and she has power in a lot of those circumstances because she's just, I guess, a bit smarter than he is, but also just she's able to shake him in a way that not a lot of other people are, and he is shook emotionally.
Well, I
He's
wouldn't even
challenged.
say she's smarter than him.
No. She's
She's
just
human.
yeah. Well, she's positing things to him that he has to confront. She's putting it out there from her mouth, and then he is having to confront them through her, and it does challenge him. And he doesn't like.
Mm.
He's weak because his sense of self is a bit weaker than what it probably could be and what it will be. He's doubting himself a lot in this movie. Even from the beginning, before he has that revelation about his parents, he's doubting who he is or what he's doing, his mission on the planet. And that's something that's compelling. Like that's the best Marvel characters do the same thing. They're challenged internally, and then that manifests externally in other things. And that's why it's compelling. And I don't think that's a Superman problem. That's just superheroes in general. People always come to with this issue of like, how do we make these superpowered beings interesting to watch? And it's not that hard. If anything, James has shown us that over and over again, that, like all you have to do is like challenge them as a person, like challenge their humanity, challenge their like morality and their belief systems and their values, and make them then confront something about themselves and then have a realization by the end. And this movie, if anything, like has the most kind of telegraphs that journey the most to me, and helps you realize how he basically approaches all of these characters all the time and why it works. Because it works in Spider-Man. Like you show him dealing with his responsibility, who he's supposed to be and why he's supposed to be that, and how hard that is for him as a person to do. And the best thing this movie does is it makes Clark and Superman like simpatico, because they are. Like Clark is Superman. That's the biggest confusion that has ever been put out there is probably the Kill Bill argument that like Clark Kent is a disguise and like a criticism of humanity. And that's just not who the character ever was to me.
No.
Like that's never who he's been. He's more interesting when he is human, and he is. And that's what this movie basically is an argument against. It's like the idea that he's not human because he was
It's
raised.
like Clark Kent is Superman, but Superman can't be Clark Kent.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, and like this movie, casting wise, is just perfect.
That's good.
Not a single role is
No.
misplaced
No.
or miscast. Like it is to me precise down to a T. And I think James has done this in every movie that he's done. Like there's never been a casting that I thought is bad in his movies. It has always been surprisingly well cast. Like to a T. And I think this movie is like perfect. I think Nick is like amazing in this movie.
Isabella Merced, perfect. Hot girl.
I mean, even Nathan Fillion. Like you think initially, you're like, oh well, of course he has to cast Nathan because he's like his guy. Like that's why he's here. It's just a throwaway gag. He's amazing. Like he's genuinely perfect for Guy.
He's awesome.
Yeah, and Mr. Terrific, like getting it's Edie, is that right? Yeah. Just amazing.
Yes.
Incredible.
He finally got his comeback from X-Men First Class.
And Steve Lombard being Beck Bennett is just incredible. Like he's just everything down. Like he's got it. He knows and like how to do this stuff so well. And casting people is just I think one of his like secret talents. Because I've never seen him miscast a character, at least especially a core character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do we think about obviously Lex Luthor, played by Nicholas Hoult, the main villain of the film?
Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
He's second best Lex Luthor.
I mean, it is hard to top Hackman, but Hackman's not even doing the comic book version of Lex Luthor.
Hackman's not my number one.
I know who your number one is, you insane man.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Look, Jacob. I do love what they were trying to do with Jesse. I don't think even if I accept that, even if I like that version of that character, he's still not my favorite Lex by any means. Like I like what they were trying to do, but that doesn't mean he's best.
I
Yeah,
mean, metaphorically, I think he is the
Now
best Lex Luthor.
Clancy Brown. Now, if we're talking animated Lex, come on, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
But
uh,
Objectively, Clancy Brown
no, I
is
love
the
him.
best, but
Nicholas Holt is amazing. Like
Kevin
genuinely.
Spacey.
You're right. Kevin Spacey was the actual best Lex Luthor. No, that guy's honestly. I wanted to like that performance, and I came into Superman Returns kind of wanting to like the movie because I was really hoping I would like another Superman movie before this one. And it's just it's insane how bad of a performance it is because he's trying so hard to kind of do the Hackman-esque thing, and he just can't
Mhm.
nail it because he lacks the kind of like the thing that made Hackman's performance really fun to watch and still really fun to watch is that he's having so much fun with it.
Yeah,
And it's in a different way than Holt is, but I think they both came at it from wanting to enjoy the experience. And Hackman, for him, that was like really relishing in the camp of it and like being like, I am the greatest criminal
Mhm.
mind of the century. Like that is his whole thing. And I love that. I love watching him go in every other sentence saying that he's the greatest criminal mind ever. Like that is one of the
yeah,
most fun gags to watch. And then Holt is just approaching it from the point of like, I want to relish in really hating a person. And he
Mhm.
really makes a meal out of it. And through the whole
yeah,
film, you could see him just hating this guy.
yeah.
Um,
The look on.
yeah, and also like the way Lex has power in this movie, and it not be physical. Like he beats Superman, isn't in control of Superman throughout the entire film, up until like the last couple minutes. Like he is always in control. He's calm. He's collected. He's like very, very precise, and he gets angry, and you can see him like tense up and like wince and like do that or like say it. Like he does that. You can see it creep out, but he is so calm and so collected that then when he starts to unravel at the end, it is one of the most compelling things to watch because you see him do the 1A, 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 and then
Yep.
you see after Superman like is coming at him at Luthor Corp and he starts running for the portal. That is the first time you see him fully like his persona and his like crafted calmness disintegrate is when he starts panicking as Superman's approaching Luthor Corp. Because like the other time when he did that, he was sitting at his desk, he was calm, he was drinking his coffee, and that was like him in full control. He never panicked once.
Yeah.
And then juxtapose that with the other scene when he comes for him at Luthor Corp and he starts running for the pocket dimension portal and like panicking like a little boy. Like that's how you do a character arc for a villain. Like you show him
Mhm.
going from like perfect control, calm to God panic, he's got me, and then just absolute hatred, even more hatred than before. Like his end point in this
Mhm.
movie is so compelling to end on, and just leaves so much promise for who Lex can be in the future. Like he's going to be without his money, without his like corporation, and yet he's going to be so much more angry and motivated to kill Superman than ever before. And that is just it's such an easy thing to in theory to write and the craft, and yet we haven't really seen that done for Lex before. It's normally just like an all or nothing game with Lex. He just does or he doesn't. And that's like it. And I don't know why we haven't seen this like this kind of I don't know, performance or crafted arc for him before, and it works because you're still meeting him at like a middle point in his envy, and yet it still feels like its own journey that you're going on with him. You could watch the movie just with him, and I think it would be as compelling.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
anyway, what else? What else? Does anybody else have anything they want to say about Nick, the highest paid actor in this movie?
That's a
Yeah.
little bit crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Highest paid and not even the main star.
no, but definitely probably the biggest name coming into this movie. If like
No, biggest
out of
name,
anyone,
yes.
yeah, he definitely has the clout to ask for 2 million.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Uh, Lex Luthor is just fueled by hate in this. That's, he's just so many scenes where you're just like, this dude just is just a hater. This dude's just a pure hater.
yeah,
And even like everything that he does in this movie, is just to get at Superman. It's not for, I guess his own gain. It's just he wants to ruin Superman's life. And I think that's kind of the way I wanted Lex to be portrayed in this is just, you know, um, you know, when you look at other, Lexes like Eisenberg, where he's more of in it for himself. Um, this one I love Nicholas Hoult. I'm a big Nicholas Hoult fan. He's great in
Yeah.
Nosferatu, one of the best actors, and all the actors that have played Lex Luthor have been incredible. But
Yeah.
this performance I specifically liked in this because of how just crazy he was and just how much hater energy he gave off, which
Mm.
is something that I strive to be one day.
I don't know if that's a good
And not
takeaway
a
from the
no.
movie. Because I
Yeah.
want to
But
hate somebody as much as Lex Luthor hates Superman.
Either be a
incredible.
D1 Rage Vader or be like the most like
Yeah.
hopeful person ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But incredible performance. I hope that we see him again in the future.
We
Obviously.
will. I bet
We
we
will.
will. But
But yeah,
Peacemaker.
shout out to Nick. Shout out to Nick.
yeah, Nick's great. What is your favorite Nick performance? Is it Nosferatu? Is that your peak of Nick?
Um, probably not. I like him in the movie quite a bit. He's probably my favorite. Hold on, I'm going on Letterboxd real quick.
Because I think
Yeah.
I
Let's
know
see
what
what he
mine
said.
is,
Is
but I think yeah, I definitely know
it
what mine
Superman
is.
Miller?
No, no, no. I mean, it is. This is up there now. It might actually, in
Oh,
time, be
I
my
know.
favorite, but
Easily.
it's
Jiro #2.
Juror number two. He is really
Yeah,
good in Juror number two. But for me, I
I
think it's
was.
Mad Max.
Fantastic.
He
Yeah,
is he
I
is
was gonna
really
say
good
that.
in Mad Max Fury Road. Like,
His character arc in Mad Max was
yeah,
probably the most surprising. But
he is.
that's a whole different.
So for me, I think maybe my two favorite performances of his he's bald. So is what I'm realizing now. Um,
I would say Mad Max, and he was really. I don't like the menu, but he was really good in the menu.
he's really good in the Menu. He's also really good in The
Really.
Great. I don't know how many of you have seen The Great, but it's a really good comedy. And he and Elle Fanning are on another
Oh
level in
yeah,
that
yeah.
show.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Elfan. Yeah,
Guys,
yeah.
we're forgetting about Deadpool too.
Yeah, for the 5 seconds he was in
Wait,
that
who
movie.
was?
He's in the
Oh,
background of the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember.
Yeah. He's
Shout out to
not
Dave.
even in the movie that long. But
Um,
yeah.
what else can we? Uh, a lot of what's your guys' thoughts on the way it looks? Obviously, Jacob brought up that James Gunn needs a new DP,
I
which
disagree. I don't hate his DP. I do I find his like shooting style interesting, but I think he actually works best with James. Because I've seen what he does outside of
and
James. I've seen him do a superhero movie without James, and I don't like that movie, the way that's
but
shot.
also James thinks like The Flash is the best movie of all time.
Yeah,
So
I don't. He said that now. He said that before the movie came out. He has not really like kept
yeah, they were
reiterating that
trying to sell
take.
tickets. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
that's what I'm saying. Like he hasn't reiterated that post the movie. It's not like he goes around constantly going, "The Flash is my favorite superhero movie of all time." Like if he did, I would question a lot, but he doesn't. So I maintain that maybe he was just trying to keep DC afloat before he came in. But
Tom Cruise thinks that for sure. Like,
yeah,
I
but
mean,
Tom
come
Cruise will
on.
say anything's good. You give him a ticket. Like if you just
Yeah.
tell him to go watch a movie and give him free
Loves
popcorn.
movies. We'll give him a break or anything.
Yeah, he'll like anything. I could tell him to watch
We'll
my film, and if I gave him free popcorn, he would probably go, "Greatest short film I've ever seen. Go watch it." Um, but yeah,
Yeah, I think it's making a film look really good is it's kind of special for a lot of superhero movies. Other James Gunn movies look really good. I mean, all the Guardians look
he's had the
incredible, and
same
I didn't
DP
have
through all of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I didn't have a
No, I
problem.
don't think Guardians won. I don't think.
Well, definitely Guardians 3 and 2. I know for a fact it's the same DP. I don't know about the
Well,
others.
Suicide Squad. But I think
And yeah,
that the visuals in this film are I like them a lot more than I thought they would from what the trailers
hmm
expected. But you're watching a trailer, so it really doesn't show much.
yeah,
But I think that a lot of scenes, like I think a lot of the night scenes look really good. I think
Hmm.
some of the fights look really good. I think and I think that's where it's special. Um, my only problem is the desert scene. I think is kind of I'm not a big fan, but like the pocket dimension, all of that,
Mhm.
I mean, it's really good. But I
Mm.
think that, like I don't want to compare it to Snyder, but when you look at Snyder's movies, they're really gorgeous. Like Batman v
Yeah,
Superman, a lot of
that's
use
the
of
one thing I can always give Snyder credit for is if you freeze frame any one of his like movies
he
for a
knows how to frame
moment,
a
it
movie.
looks kind
Yeah,
of good. Now, the minute you let that thing
yeah,
start going again, you'll get like 2 frames into it, and you'll be like, "Wait a minute, what?" But he does do
yeah,
And then
really
you'll
well
get
at
some
like
slow mo.
designing a thing. He's a very stylish guy. I will give Zach that.
yeah.
Almost
And
too much style over substance. But
Well, he studied photography, if
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
wrong. So
he's a cinematographer
yeah, love slow mo.
for Rebel and Army of
slow
Army
mo.
of the Dead.
Yeah,
But no, I liked it enough. I didn't like sit there and be like, this looks like shit. I was like,
I think it works for the
I
thing that it is. Like I don't need
yeah,
it to
yeah,
be Jean Valjean. I'm not asking for it to be Citizen Kane. It's that would be weird.
yeah. I don't need it. Yeah, and
It's yeah.
but um, the score I think is probably the best Superman score.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I had this conversation with my friend Zach, who Jacob also knows recently about the score, because he thinks that they still use the theme too much. And I told him, I keep telling him, wait till he sees Superman Returns, because that movie uses this theme a lot, but also doesn't embellish on it at all. Whereas this one uses it a lot, but it does feel like it's building from it as a foundation, which to me
Yeah,
is much more compelling. Like just if they just use the John Williams theme again, it would still be okay to me. Like it would be fine, I guess,
Yeah.
but like I would find it mildly distracting. But seeing as how Murphy and who's the other guy? It's John Murphy and
oh, uh,
um
Fleming. Is it
yeah,
Fleming?
somebody
I
pull it
forget.
up while I talk. But because I don't want to leave dead air. But John Murphy and the other guy, who John Murphy was on Electric, I know through a lot of it. He was
David
doing a lot of
Fleming.
the David
Yeah,
Fleming. Thank
David
you.
Fleming. Oh, sure,
Those
yeah,
two guys, what they did, what they reincorporated and like added the electric part on top of it and really embellished on it and made it their own. Um,
yeah,
it really helps make the thing distinct and
Mm.
both reminiscent and kind of call back to this original film to a degree, but also more than that, even kind of just cement the theme as like the core of almost what Superman is. Like having the theme be almost as important to the character as his heroism, like almost making it like this thing that you have to carry on with like the spandex and then just have to like recontextualize and retool to make new. That's really interesting to me because I've always had this. There's these certain superhero themes that I'm like, you can't top, and I don't know why we keep trying. Like, I have the strong belief
Mm.
that the Batman theme that Elfman did for Tim Burton is kind of the only definitive Batman theme, and I love the Batman theme from the Batman. I do. I genuinely do. But there's nothing quite like
yeah.
the
It's very
the
distinct.
Batman theme that Elfman did. And when it's in the animated series, every time it pops on, I'm like, yes, like that's it.
Yeah, it's
And
so good.
you can't
It's
top
so
that.
good.
Like I feel, and that's why I think this movie kind of understood that about the Superman thing, where they're like, we're never gonna get better than that. Like that is iconic and
Mm.
definitive, and it is the character as much as like anything else and just deciding that they're going
Mm.
to use that and then build off of it in this like new and innovative and kind of intriguing way with that like electric riffs and kind of the pacing of it and just drawing it out and building on top of it with like orchestrations and the electric guitar and the bass. It's just so it makes it fresh and fun and entertaining without just being nostalgia bait. Whereas like the Superman Returns use of the theme to me is just pure nostalgia bait and so distracting. And this is like
Mm.
creative, new, and riveting. But what do you guys think of the theme? Do you stand by my untouchable superhero themes take, or do you?
I I love music and film and
Mhm,
scores. And whenever a film has a really good score, it sticks with me. And
mhm,
this one has a incredible. I mean, when Superman, when that theme comes on, this when it finally, shows itself, it just it makes my skin crawl. It's
mhm,
just so good, and
Mm.
that's the power of score and films. And in this one, I think it's absolutely incredible. And John Murphy and Fleming do a really good. job. I like the Batman v Superman score because that's done by Hans Zimmer and
I do
XL.
enjoy that score, surprisingly.
But it's a lot different. This one is a lot more, I would say, heroic. It's a lot more,
Mhm.
it lifts up into the air type of feeling, and
Like you
I
can
think
see
that's
a
what
man
they did.
fly.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the best part, and I really liked it. I hope John Murphy does more um superhero scores because I don't know if this is his first one or he did.
No, he's done most of James's stuff. I mean, he
Oh,
did
he did. Okay,
Suicide Squad, yeah,
Oh,
which I also think has a
also,
really good score. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
So yeah, I'm a big fan of this rendition of the Superman score, and um, the same with yeah, I just really like it.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about you, Jacob? Any takes on scoring?
I mean, you already know how I felt with the score, even just from the trailer.
Hmm.
Is even in the early days of witnessing this score in IMAX, I've cried several times to that guitar riff,
Still do.
and hearing that, I still do, and
I still do. Yeah.
because it's just really it's an uplifting moment when that like guitar riff first appears on that big silver screen, and you're just sitting there, and I mean, I'm already walking into the theater emotional because like this is Superman. I love Superman, and like it's just a big, beautiful experience just to like hear that in surround sound. And I was like, even at the end of the movie, I told my mother, I'm really uplifted. I'm by this by the music choice
Hmm.
and by the how it applies heroism. And I think my mother felt the same way.
Hmm. It's also, I
So
think we're focusing on the theme a lot too, but there's a lot of like scoring choices of like the original material too that I find really lovely. Like the Lois theme, when he and Lois are in scenes together, and there's that like one melody that continues through those scenes, I quite
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
okay.
not just nostalgia. I mean, there's a lot of those. Like the Luther theme is not from
no,
the
oh
original
dude,
source material. It's completely fresh.
it's techno.
It's got that
It's
techno vibe to it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got the Challengers vibe.
yeah, and
Oh
it's
wow.
got, and then there's the what's the other one that I really like? Oh, the Daily Planet. When you first do that
Mm.
smash cut to then the Daily Planet, and it's just like that bump 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 bump, and you're just like, yeah, that's typewriters. That's got that energy to it, but it's not like. That's how I know that it's
It's
not
just
just a nostalgia play to use the theme, because they don't do it with
Mm.
anything else. There's no direct callbacks to any other material throughout the rest of the movie. They've just decided that that theme is Superman, and they'll carry that out through his heroics, and then everything else they'll create, craft fresh, and I like
Mm.
it. It feels good. It feels not just lazy, and also
Yeah.
really compelling, to me at least.
And also,
um
that's what you're gonna hear for the next 10 years.
Oh yeah. Well, have you guys listened to it at all on your own? Like, have you pulled it up? Because I have 100% pulled it up and listened to
I
it.
have not enough to I want to though.
It is fun. And I will
I
say, if
did
you
it
want to like
right
listen
after the
to it in
movie.
order, and if you're ever craving the movie and you don't want to have to go back and watch it, which I don't know why you would, that's insane. But just pull that up and start playing it like in real time, and I bet you it is one of those strong scores that like from the first song to the last, you will be able to imagine exactly what the scene's supposed to be, because the
Mhm.
music is so good at like indicating the scene that it's supposed to pair with, and you'll just be able to
I
tell
mean,
immediately.
I think the last superhero flick that has had that impact for me, or at least from memorizing the scenes for like score, is Captain America: Civil War.
Hmm, interesting. I never had that
Very
response to
interesting.
Civil War, but I could see that.
And yeah, when I was 12, I would pretty much rewatch that almost every single day.
Hmm, interesting.
What did we think about, obviously, a big point of interest in the movie is the conflict uh, between what were the two countries.
Jarmpur and Bravia.
Yep, thank you. What
I
do we
Yep.
think? What do we think about that, and why
It's an
do
allegory. It's an allegory, man.
Yeah, but also like yes, and like I don't like it is, and I don't know why. Like, but I also don't know why it's an issue. To be fair, I don't understand
Shouldn't
why
be.
some of the issues in
Oh,
like real
it's
life are issues. Like, I don't get that either. But like,
Yeah.
like him preventing death in a war like zone to me is not controversial, and yet somehow it
No,
is. Like,
shouldn't be.
that's
it's
what the
what
character
Superman
is
should be
supposed to
doing.
be. Yeah, he was created in world like and like direct aftermath of World War II, or no, during World War II, and like his
Yep.
whole he was just kind of like meant to impart like that like peace. Like that was his whole energy, was like no more war, no more conflict. If we could have an all-powerful man, if these two Jewish creators could create an all-powerful man, they would want him to protect everyone. Like that just being the impulse back then, it didn't feel controversial. And now for some reason having a hero who's just like kind and nice and trying to like protect people from being stepped on or being caught in the crossfire of a war, like the fact that that
Mm.
is at all considered controversial to me is just absurd. And the fact that we even have to be like, here's an allegory for a real life conflict, and
It's
here's what
happening
we
right now.
want. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
and the fact that like putting that hero in that conflict and solving it is at all triggering to people is to me
It's
weird. Like it's weird because he's not like taking a side directly. He's just trying to prevent.
no,
I mean, he is, but like it's more because he doesn't
not
want death.
explicitly.
Yeah, but it's just
James
because he doesn't like death. Like that's it. To him, that's evil. Is the like dying, like people dying from controllable and like preventable causes is his idea of what's bad, and he just wants to stop
Mm.
that from happening. And that should not be triggering or bad to anyone, like at all. And I think that's what the movie ends on. I think that's the overall like takeaway from the movie is like true heroism is stepping in when necessary, not to like insert yourself into a conflict you have no part in being in, because that's ultimately, I think the film just decides that's a moot point. What the film goes is what the film's trying to impart is like, do what's right because it's right, stop death from happening
Mm.
because no one should want people to die.
Because
If you have the power to
he was
prevent
doing
it,
good.
you should stop it. Yes, not because one person deserves to live more than the other, or like not like it's not that, it's just it's bad. Death is bad. That's what the movie says. Kaiju stepping on people is
Yeah.
bad. Kaiju stepping on squirrel is also bad. Like that's all it takes. That's the message of the movie. Is just like, don't, if you have the power to do something to stop people from feeling anguish or pain or death, you should. Whether it's your arch nemesis or a squirrel, you should always try to stop it. And
Yeah.
that's a great take. Funny story about that though. During my second watch of the movie, there was like a guy a couple seats away from me, and at the end when he's confronting Lex, I just hear from like next to me down the row, just the guy going, "Kill him, dude. Why don't you just kill him? Just kill him." And I was like, "Dude, have you been watching
Have
the
a word
same
for it.
movie we all have? Like, what is wrong with you, you psychopath?" Like, that's not what
Have
Red
a
this
word
Hat.
for
movie's been about. But whatever.
Yeah, I think the scene where the boy raises the flag
Yeah,
and Superman sees on TV,
So
that's one of the
beautiful.
scenes that
every time,
that's one of the scenes that
Cried.
got me to
I
tear up. I
cried.
was like, Jesus Christ,
every
dude.
single time I watch the
But
movie.
it is a very big allegory, as Jacob
Yeah,
said earlier, and but I think I don't know why people have a problem with him saving, innocence, from
Yeah.
this government,
yeah,
and I think that's what Superman should do. I think it's a kind of a perfect, thing to put in, is
yeah,
because
Mm.
you know, he, instead of saving, he was thinking about going over there instead of helping Mr. Terrific save the city. He's like, I got to go over there. These people need my
Hmm.
help.
mhm,
And that's where, the Justice Gang come in. And then that's, kind of builds on the idea of hope and, you know, saving people. And I think James Gunn is kind of genius for including that
Hmm.
in the film.
yeah,
Um,
Especially what we're dealing with in the world right now.
yeah.
yeah.
When
Like,
when the little boy raises that flag, and like
yeah,
I couldn't just like imagine like you guys probably saw that post about the little boy wearing a Superman
Oh, yeah.
cape.
So,
yeah.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It's
Like yeah,
it's my wallpaper
the one
Yeah.
right there.
right now
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Is that's like
because it's yeah,
that's what a hero
that's what it's
is.
about.
Like
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
it's
it's
yeah, That's what it's always been about. Like that's why I love heroes. That's why I go to these
Mm.
movies. Is to see
Yeah.
That's why I got so
people with the power
emotional.
to do something to do something. Like that's why I mean, and it feels like for some reason we've gotten away from that as like what heroes are. And we've gotten kind of caught up in the spectacle of like two beings with powers fighting each other, which is fun to watch, but like just to have this movie exist that then like reminds us what heroism is as opposed to what like fighting is like it is it's a very low bar again, but like just reminding us what the idea of a hero is as opposed to like it's not just a guy who can punch a guy. That's being super. The
Mhm.
hero part is preventing other like the death around you, preventing like everything that is harmful or painful that you can. And the one moment you see a death in this movie, and probably the only actual body in the movie that you can
Oh
count,
yeah.
hits so
Mm.
hard because you've seen Superman prevent every other death he physically can. He's done everything he can to save every life possible. And the one moment he can't, it hurts him so bad. And that's why the Zod thing doesn't work for me in that movie. And that's the only because like
Yeah,
that would have
no.
worked better if he prevented every other death from physically happening that he ever could
Yeah.
have. And this
Yeah.
one hurts so much more because he could not save Molly. Like he just couldn't.
Mm.
He had no power to. And it
No.
pains him. It kills him. And I feel for him because I want to save Molly. Metamorpho wanted like realizes he should have wanted to.
Uh, You
Like
get the pain from other people too, and it's kind of
yeah,
just like
yeah.
realizing how necessary death is.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. What? This is gonna go off topic, but what is the future for James Gunn's DCU? You know, what
Well,
what
we
what do we
know
think is?
definitively what two
Su-
things are. Well, three things. Three future
Supergirl.
things.
Yeah. We'll spoil it. Billy Alcock's Supergirl. Um, who I
Perfect.
think is gonna be absolutely incredible because I've seen House of the Dragon. I love Game of Thrones, so
Have
she's
either of
great
you
in that.
read Woman of Tomorrow?
No.
It's on the way.
I own it. I own it, and I had not read it yet. I'm going to read it next thing.
You
Like that is
should.
my. I'm going to
You
fast track that.
really should.
Yeah, it's the next
Um,
mission.
but who? Let me look up who's directing it. But yeah,
It's the guy
that's
who did Dumb Money and Cruella. It's
Greg Gillespie. Yeah,
Gillespie.
okay,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Gillespie. Yeah, yeah. But a very interesting thing that James Gunn is doing is he's hiring a lot of smaller filmmakers.
Hmm.
You know, names that have done a lot of films that people know, but they don't know the director's name, like the new Clayface, James Watkins.
Yes,
Um,
and written by
which I
um, you guys know.
hold on.
Somebody say it. Okay. Dang it. I'm gonna have to look it up. But it's written by
Letterbox.
the guy who did Midnight Mass, and come on, somebody has to know.
Oh, Mike Flanagan.
Yes, Flanagan.
Yeah.
Thank you. It
There we
was. I
go.
knew it was a
Oh, I
Netflix. Just
love
was
Mike.
not coming to me. But Flanagan wrote that script, and
Oh,
then yeah,
recent writer of Life of Chuck.
yes, Life of
Oh,
Chuck, a movie I've not seen.
well, hold on. In defense of Mike Flanagan, okay, Doctor Sleep's a very good movie for a sequel.
I've
Okay,
heard.
just want to point that. And Haunting of Hill House is also pretty
I
good for
enjoyed the bit I've seen.
Yep.
Heard.
So I like Mike Flanagan. I
I would
think
like
he's
for him to do
pretty.
movies, is what I really want Mike Flanagan to do, and he did one.
Yeah,
So I need to
I agree.
watch that movie. But him being in TV for
And
too
then
long just meant he was not on my
the other
radar.
Ah.
writer, the other writer wrote Drive. I've seen Mean
Oh.
Gene.
Yes.
So and that's yeah. So, but I think the future for DC, the new DCU, is very. I'm very looking forward to it because a lot of what they're starting out with is very small instead of here's Batman, here's Wonder Woman, here's Aquaman, The Flash, all that. We're getting films like a Mr. Terrific show where what's it called? The Authority. Some random characters, and then I'm very excited
Mhm.
for the future.
I
And
also, it's exciting that like Gunn has taken the approach of like really, not greenlighting things that he has doubts about. Because even the Authority, I think he got a script for, and then he kind of said, "I'm going to back burner this because it's not good enough yet. So I think even that he's like put
Mm.
on the like far back burner and being like, I'll
Yeah.
wait until something good comes along to actually greenlight this. But like he greenlit Supergirl because he really liked that script. He greenlit Lanterns because he liked what Lindelof gave him for that. He's only greenlit and like put in production so far things that he has been really confident about, and to see if he keeps that going, I'm curious about. But like the fact that Clayface is anything like is coming out third out of the cinematic like exploits of
Yeah,
DC
it's
Studios
kind
is
of awesome.
insane.
It's interesting.
Like
It's pretty awesome.
in no concept of my rationale of a DC Studios rollout would I have thought third Clayface. But that movie to me is
That's
like the
why.
one that's the biggest test like of the overall experiment to me, or at least Gunn's version of the experiment, because he's
That's
Yeah.
why
very.
I feel like they're doing completely something different between
Mhm.
what the MCU is doing.
Yeah.
Like they kind of had their written formula, and
Yeah.
James Gunn is just kind of going with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just, and if Clayface, if that is a smaller movie and it, blows up, we're gonna get more films like that.
Yeah.
I believe.
But that to me is
Um,
like Supergirl's going to be, whether directly like this or like indirectly like this, it's going to be like Superman to a degree. It's going to have the same kind of like, it's going to be scaled
yeah,
about the same, and it's going to be like a bigger deal marketing wise in the summer, and tonally probably closer to Superman than not. But like
Mm.
Clayface to me, they pitched it as being very tonally different, and that being like the
Yeah,
first real
body
test
horror.
case of their, yeah, but of their like idea of their philosophy of being like, we're going to approach each project as its own thing within the universe, but be
Mm.
very like tonally specific and stylistically specific to the movie that we're doing. And to me, Clayface will be the first real test of that philosophy and whether or not it will work. And if Clayface can work
Mm.
yeah,
as like proof of concept for being that bold and that different and that distinct, then I think we'll really chart an interesting path forward through the rest of this like oncoming universe building. And if it doesn't, then I would be concerned to see how they'll pivot or change their approach, or if they'll start to then be like, maybe we should have like more of an in-house specific style. I don't know, but I think that to me is like the one that I'm going to be watching for the most, because seeing how
Mm.
yeah,
that one is executed on is the most fascinating to me.
yeah, yeah. And the other films that Swamp Thing by James Mangold is
Yeah,
another one.
Brave and the Bold
Um,
by Andy
Mangold.
Muschietti.
well, I think Batman, the Batman for the DCU, I think should. All right, call me crazy. Directed by Sam Raimi and Josh Hartnett should play Batman.
That would be fun.
I
I
think
don't
Glenn,
think that'll
I
happen,
think
but that
Glenn
would be
Powell.
fun.
I definitely won't, but that'd
Glenn
be, I think,
Powell's
the best.
definitely not happening.
Glenn Powell's
Hayden's
got
Hayden's
so much
option's more
like.
realistic for the cast.
Glenn Powell would not make a good Batman.
No, he'd make a
I
He's
think
too.
he
great
would.
Booster Gold. He'd be a really
Oh,
interesting
I
Booster
want to
Gold.
see Booster Gold.
But he's
Booster
not
Gold has
touching
some.
this with a like 10-foot pole. He's not getting near this. This isn't his part of his
He'll
plan.
do it in 10 years. He'll
Watch.
do it in 10
Just
years. I
watch.
think.
Maybe. I don't think he's gonna. The closest he'll get to like franchise right now is Running Man. Like that's as close as he'll
Yeah.
get. I think at this point in his career.
But yeah, Batman. I'm a little worried about because I don't know what he's gonna do with that. I don't like Andy Muschietti
I
as
don't
a
either.
director.
The Flash. The minute I came out of Flash, I was like, don't
I
let
like
him
it.
do that movie.
I like the first hit.
Yeah.
The first hit, but other than that, I just think that they should hire a better director, and I don't
A,
want,
a real director.
I ran
yeah, a
this
real,
hot. I had a hot take about this, and I ran it by Jacob. And I'll go ahead and say it here because I think it's too good not to pitch.
yeah,
And I'll go ahead and throw in a second one, so it's new to you also, Jacob. I
Huh?
think the best person to direct Brave and the Bold, if it's going to be about the Bat family, if it's going to be about Batman dealing with his new son Damian Wayne and trying to like form that relationship and kind of change him for the better,
That's right.
the best person to direct that movie, the person who I think would have the most stylistic fun with that movie, the person who I think would like really relish in the fight sequences of that movie, and kind of build out the more uh, fun comic booky side of Batman more. The person who would do that best is James, 100%. I think James Gunn should do a Bat Family movie. If there was going to be a Bat Family movie in his universe, everything he's
yeah,
done has been about these like found families or these constructed families or these like off kilter families units. And having that movie be about that as it's been pitched, he's the best person to direct that movie. Like it's everything that he's already done before, but like now in a different framing device and kind of giving him almost a new thing to play with and a toolbox. Now it seems like he actually is like almost against the idea of ever touching Batman. It seems like
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
but
who has Batman? That's the most.
but I think he has to confront the fact that I do think he would be the best choice to do it.
Mhm.
And because he would have a good take on it. He already likes dealing with the grounded characters that Batman fights all the time. He did a really good job with Harley. He likes that, like those people, the Batman characters, Polka Dot Man. He enjoys that side of the universe a lot. I think I think he'd be the best. But also, I had this other pitch. He's been meeting with Coogler, and people are like, "Oh, he's meeting with Coogler to like bring in
Oh,
the like Static Shock
Uh-oh.
characters or like those side of things." Coogler Batman would be a Zag, and it would be nothing
I would love that.
nobody would be expecting it.
Mm,
It would be interesting. I think it would
Coogler
be
is one of the best directors working today, and having him do Batman would be, I think,
it would be
he
interesting.
wouldn't do it. He
I don't
wouldn't
think he
do it
would.
because his track record. No, he
no,
wouldn't.
he would not do
No,
it.
but it would be
But
interesting.
well,
It would.
I would not. A lot of people have been floating around the idea that maybe he just puts in Robert Pattinson's Batman. As you can see, I got the poster in the background.
Yeah, yeah,
I would hate it. I think that would be
Yeah.
probably my least favorite move that they could do because those
yeah.
are. I don't think Gotham for James Gunn's universe would fit in the same world.
No, not at
No.
all.
It's too realistic, and
But isn't
New
that the
York.
thing they've been pitching? Like, isn't that the idea though? Also, like, is having these totally distinct things. I'm not saying I'm playing devil's advocate here. I agree. I don't want that in there. But like, isn't that the idea too?
yeah, it's just I don't know. It wouldn't fit for
Yeah.
kind of. I think that if they do Gotham for James Gunn's universe, as much as you could hate on Batman Returns or not Batman, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin,
Yeah.
the production in Gotham of that is probably the best out of any movie. Like it's and Keaton's
Ish.
1989.
It was more the Burton stuff that then they built off the back of, and I would say the Burton Gotham's more interesting to me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, totally. And I think that's what James should probably be going for.
I think so.
instead
I
of,
agree. That kind of like extra hyperbolized Gotham's, like gothic
Yeah.
nature. Yeah.
But
The
Andy
pop
Muschietti
culture
is
of it all.
Yeah.
But Andy Muschietti's not going to do that. So they just need to
Yeah.
get a. And then another thing that just happened is Sergeant Rock,
Yeah.
Luca Guadagnino. He just got off the movie.
That was the
sadly.
thing that now I'm most mad that I'm not getting. Like genuinely,
I'm
Yeah.
very mad at
now that
Me too.
Superman worked, I actually really wanted that movie.
Yeah.
I was kind of iffy on it
Um,
before because I was like, whatever, it's DCU, I don't care. And now that I love Superman so much, I'm like, I would have really loved to see Luca do
Yeah.
anything in this because if you got him to do
Yeah.
one movie, that's impressive as all hell.
Yeah, Luca is, coming off of, After the Hunt, which is coming out, and doing a DCU movie about Sergeant Rock would have been so magnificent.
It would have been so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it probably would have been the best director and work on a comic book movie.
I know, and that's why it's fascinating to me, and it's really infuriating that's not happening now. I mean, I guess it's not happening. It's been technically because of a scheduling issue, it was pushed back, and so it's just like temporarily on hold is what they've said. So maybe he'll come back, but Craig's already moved on and dropped, so that's concerning.
Who's one director that you guys want to see in the DCU?
This is a good question.
Or
Now-
writer or actor, cinematographer, if you guys know who I need. But
Jacob, do you have one? I gotta sit on this. Or you, Hayden, do you have one?
Let's go Hayden first.
Yeah, Hayden.
Well, as I said, Sam Raimi directing Batman.
I do think getting Sam in there, yeah.
I think getting him, because, as much as I did not like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, the camera moves around so many times to the point where I kind of have to love it. And also, I love the Spider-Man movies, obviously. But if there's one filmmaker that I think would fit the best for that universe, if there's, I'm not going to say, like Francis Ford Coppola directing a film, because that's just silly. I would love to see like a Steven Soderbergh,
Oh yeah.
ECU film directed, coming off of Black Bag. I think he could do, a minor character, because, I think that would
He's
be
got the
probably,
sauce.
You know what's the great
yeah,
thing about that
well,
pitch is it's not unrealistic because
no,
Soderbergh makes
he's,
like three
I,
films a year.
it's coming out with
It's
another
not like
one later
it's
on.
not like he cares. Like
Um,
he'll be like, yeah, you want me to do one movie for your dumb superhero universe? Fine, whatever.
yeah,
I'll do
I
the
would, I would also love
And
to see, he would never do it, but like, somebody like George Miller directing some type of, you know,
oh, that'd
cracked
be
out.
Mm,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
a George Miller written by Hideo Kojima
yeah.
DCU movie.
That might be too late,
Yeah.
but damn. I see
Well,
because I also
yeah.
really wanted that Mad Max 3 that I don't think I'm ever gonna get. I mean the Mad
We're
No,
Max
never getting
because
that.
Fury Road 3, that universe,
I
but
Fury Road, the prequel, sequel.
I
yeah, the
need
prequel.
George Lucas to give I need George Lucas to give a billion over to George Miller to make it.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
would be
those are my
nice.
picks. I think those are the most realistic. For well, not George Miller, but I think those are
Mm.
the ones that can make the best movie. Because you could look at Coogler, he would make a good movie, but he's not gonna do it. He's stuck in the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Mm.
Jacob,
MCU brain.
do you have a pick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I know it's already not gonna happen, but Clayface, I would have loved to see David Cronenberg join on for that project.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but there's no way
great.
he'd do that.
I kind of been
Even if it
that
was
would have
still
been
possible, there's no way he's accepting that
that would have been
offer.
gold though. That
Yeah.
just would
Now
have been straight
Corley,
gold.
Corley, you
Oh,
might be able to
Corey,
get.
yeah, yeah,
Now that
she
one would
could
have been
have,
actually
yeah.
a good get.
Forget Cronenberg's son, David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
I mean, not
Yeah, true.
Brandon.
Very sure.
I'm trying to think
Yeah, it's Infinity Pool.
who
Um,
would be best. I really don't know because I already got like guys who I know they could get. They already basically have or have talked to. Like Kugler would be willing to do something like this. He's done franchise stuff before. He might not because he's still doing Black Panther 3. So I don't know how likely that is. But like meeting with him makes sense. Meeting with like getting Mangold in talks to do Swamp Thing is like that's the kind of director who
it's
would do
very
something
big.
like
Yeah, it's very
this.
big.
Lindelof
Coming
doing
off of
Lanterns makes sense. Like you know what? I'll pitch something, and I don't know if it'll happen, but it would be interesting off the
right.
back of Andor to get somebody like
Oh
Tony
yes,
Gilroy to come
oh
in and
hell
do
yeah.
something. Now,
Well,
I don't know if Tony would want to. He probably wouldn't. He just got out of doing a franchise thing, and he seems kind of exhausted by all the franchise-ness of it. He loves this. He loves what he did, but I don't think he cares about the apparatus that much. And I think he gets
right,
annoyed by it. So,
right.
but
And we should get Michael Bay back. Get Michael
Michael
Bay in the
Mann
movie.
and Michael
oh
Mann to
yeah,
do it.
because Michael Mann, yeah, 80
Uh,
plus year old Michael Mann really wants to be doing.
Brian De Palma's with the laughter. Come on. No. Okay. Now I like the Tony Gilroy, but I
Yeah.
think he would write. I think
Oh
the
yeah, no,
best
he
case
wouldn't want to
scenario
direct it.
is you get this has already happened, but Steven Soderbergh and Tony Gilroy had a script for James Bond that was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
pitched
That
to
was the one I was rooting
yeah,
for
and I
secretly.
and I
Mhm.
think that would probably be the best case scenario is you get Soderbergh and Gilroy to do a film.
You know, I have a director now. Gilroy for like a show as a writer would be interesting, but director
Yeah.
for a movie. Cuarón has not done a movie in
Oh, Alfonso,
coming on
yeah.
10 years, and he's not opposed to franchise stuff. Now, would I like him to do an original film? Yes, but would I be okay with him coming in and doing something like Sergeant Rock or finding some character that he really wants to adapt and just doing that as like its own standalone thing as part of DC Studios? I would love that. I would find that fun. I haven't seen a Cuarón film in too long, and it really pisses me off. And I'm not getting Apple TV to watch Disclaimer. I'm just not.
I mean,
So
he made the best Harry Potter, so
he did. That's what I'm saying. He made the only good
not
like standalone Harry Potter movie that like you don't have to read other material for. Like it's the one movie that stands on its own and is like really compelling
yeah.
and good. Y2 Mama is like one of my favorite films of all time. Um, yeah, he's really good. He's too good not to be doing stuff with the regularity that most other directors do. Like even some of the worst at
Um,
like turning stuff out are better than him right now.
yeah.
But
This is gonna be a total 180. But as I brought up James Bond, James Bond has been floating around in the news with Denny directing it,
Mhm.
um, which I don't like at all. Good director, I love him to death, but he's
Danny,
not.
Danny.
He's
Yeah, I'm
he's
I'm
French.
I'm hot and cold on it. I like it a lot at times, and then there are other times where I'm like, but
But
is that right for
For a
this?
Bond film, really?
Yeah, like when Cuarón was being tossed around for the Bond film, I was like, that makes sense. This is
I
his thing.
I would have I would have loved to see Paul King do it,
Yeah, that was
electrical
an interesting
Bond.
one that was
Mhm.
circling, wasn't it? That one was weird, and
I,
like not in a bad way, in a very like interesting way.
but you know, Denny, I don't think he could do, like espionage genre. I think he should
Oh.
stick to the like 20 other projects that he has going on. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rendezvous with Rama. I'm very excited for, and I'm doing that than this. But who do you think is going to play James Bond? Because
Not this
that's
question. God. Oh, I don't know.
Tom Holland.
No,
yeah, no,
please.
that is exact. I got a $20 bet with my friends that
No.
gonna
It's probably going
You
to
know it's
be.
gonna be Tom Holland. You know it is.
he's
No,
in the
it's not.
Odyssey.
That's insane. I've had this argument with my friend Zach because Zach hates that Tom Holland is doing anything, I guess. Because when the teaser trailer for the Odyssey came on, he was like, "Oh my God, Tom Holland! I can't watch this movie now. It's Tom Holland, little baby boy." And I was like, first
He
off,
looks good in it.
he's not a bad actor. I just think he hasn't had like good
Oh.
choices. Like he just hasn't done good projects
Yeah,
outside of Spider-Man, which is like just like mismanagement on his part or his manager's part or whatever. Like they just haven't signed on to do the right things. Doing the Odyssey actually makes sense as like a trying to like course correct.
he'll be great in it.
I think he'll be good in
Mhm.
it, and I think working with somebody like Nolan will actually help him kind of like find like his footing again, and then kind of find projects that are good outside of like Cherry or whatever. I
Yep.
think Theo James is like a good choice. Do you guys know Theo James
I love
from The
yeah.
Monkey and
White
The Gentleman
Lotus.
TV show and Divergent? Yeah,
Mhm.
he's about the right
I've seen
age.
Monkey.
He's in his 40. He's 40. I know they want to go younger, which is kind of throwing that off, but he looks great. That's the kind of guy I would like to see play the character, not one who has a high profile, one who has kind of like a quieter profile and can kind of like slip in and then that become their thing because that's normally what happens. And Theo's
And,
really talented and good and has the looks for it, and I think he can pull it off. But we'll see. I mean,
and
honestly,
yeah.
like Daniel Kaluuya would also be amazing, but they won't do that because they're cowards. So, like, we'll never see interesting stuff. It's going to be like they're probably going to do Aaron
And
Taylor Johnson, which is probably the most uninteresting choice
Please
they could
no.
ever make.
it's so boring. I like Aaron
I
Taylor
know.
Johnson, but
Well, I don't know.
yeah.
He,
Uh,
he's
if I had to
interesting.
choose the Bond, I would. I got a couple. I would love to see Joe Allen from The Brutalist. I think he's
Mm,
a phenomenal actor. Who's, you know, he's got that, charisma, and
yeah.
he's. I think he's a great actor. Another one that I really loved is Josh O'Connor from Challengers.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I want
Yeah,
to
no,
see him
that's
in
very
anything.
good.
Like at this point, I just want more Josh O'Connor everywhere all the
yeah,
time.
and but I think, but he wouldn't do it.
No, I also do think he
Yeah,
has like there's a more of a vulnerability to him than I think they want.
yeah,
Generally for Bond, that's why I like Josh. He's like very compelling because I do think he's like
yeah.
there's something about him that's like tangible and real and like relatable. Like he is. There's a part of him that's like a guy I know. He's not so attractive that he's like distant, but he is like so attractive that he's a star. Like I think he can like be a good star,
Mm.
but like he's not. Bond needs to almost be like statuesque, in his casting. Like he needs to be almost like undeniable, and then you can like build on top of that stuff. Like Craig was from the first shot of him coming out of the water in Casino Royale. You're
Yeah, it was
like,
awesome.
oh yeah,
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 that's
that's so
that's the
good.
it's because
most
James
attractive man I've ever seen this year. Like, and Josh O'Connor's really, really hot, but not from like that, and not in that sense. You know what I mean? He's got an attractive personality and a good vibe and like really compelling visuals, but not in that same way as like you know Cavill when he like did the audition. I could see like that was when he was younger and he
Mhm.
did the first audition for it. I don't know if you guys have seen the tape, but like that's interesting. I
Yeah, I
liked
saw the
that
Cowboy. Yeah.
concept.
Yeah, Apple is, he's kind of just everybody's, like I would say
Fan
pick.
fave.
Or,
I do think that would make
you know,
sense.
he's already played Superman, which I
The
like him
issue,
as an actor.
the one issue with Cal is that he's basically done variations of Bond ever since he didn't get Bond the first time.
Yeah,
Like he did Fallout, he did Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Argyle.
He's done
he's
Argyle. Like
awesome
he's
in
basically
Fallout.
done every other version of the character since he didn't get the first time. So at this
Yeah.
point, I think he's kind of almost overextended, and they do
There's
want to
really
go
no
younger.
reason.
So I don't know.
No, did you hear who's the eye to play the Bond girl?
Oh wait, was it Quality? No, it wasn't. Who was it?
It's Sydney Sweeney.
That's right, which makes sense.
Oh.
That does track. That does
That
make
was the
sense.
new Sweeney, but bro,
When Quali did
Anna
the
de
dance
Armas
at the Academy Awards, I was like, she would make
Should have,
sense.
yeah, that should have
it
solidified
should have been
it.
Quali, or they should have brought back Anna de Armas.
Eh,
On
That would be.
I got
I
my
would
Amazon.
hate having a female Bond though. Like, you cast.
Yeah, I know we want it, but
Du-
nobody's gonna do that. They're
Dua
not gonna.
Lipa.
Amazon didn't buy the
Yeah.
property so they could have
Looks like
Bond.
the movie stuff.
Yeah.
Doug, shut
I don't
up.
know. We'll see. Maybe they'll surprise me and they'll go with a black Bond or a female Bond. That would be awesome. I would love that. Honestly, a Kaluuya casting would be amazing because he hasn't done anything again for like
Yeah.
10
Or
years for
the
some
dude
reason.
from Damien Idris from F1.
Yeah.
Everybody here.
Oh yeah,
Interesting.
Damien
I'd
Elbrus
like that.
would be really strong too. But again, they're cowards, so they won't. And I'm
Yeah,
calling you out,
that's
MGM, Amazon Prime. Prove me wrong. Come at me.
What's everybody's most anticipated movie of the year for the rest
Oh,
after Superman?
It's interesting. I need to look.
see, I used to say this is easy for me because I used to always say it was One Battle After Another was the movie I was looking forward to the most, and it still is. But I do think I was just lying to myself that Superman wasn't my most anticipated movie because now that it's over, I'm like, okay, I did it, and now I'm kind of like on cruise control for a minute.
Oh, wait.
But like One Battle is the one I
I have
really
that
wanted to do
too.
well because I love PTA.
One
And when
Battle-
PTA is cooking, he's cooking. So
Yeah, I love Licorice Pizza a lot.
me too.
And I think One Battle After Another is going to be very much, in this, not style, but kind of what we saw with Licorice Pizza in terms of score, editing, the way it's shot by PTA again, which is kind of awesome. But I'm very looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to No Other Choice by Park Chan-wook.
Yep.
Boy, which just the Venice Film Festival just got announced today, and that's premiering there.
Fire.
Then you got let's see what else. Sentimental
That's the big
Value.
one.
Wait, what's the big one?
Avatar 3. Like,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they released the
come on.
booster. Yeah.
Whatever. I just can't.
Whatever.
I don't care. I really don't. It's
come
a
on.
franchise that has taken up way too much of James Cameron's time. Genuinely.
He's making other movies.
He should just make other stuff and then not dog on Christopher
Making
Nolan.
5 of
Also.
them.
He should make other stuff
This
and
one
then
can-
lay off Christopher Nolan.
He should keep dogging on Christopher Nolan.
Be like,
Well,
you coward! You
Christopher
didn't show
Nolan-
them dying. And I was like, wait, what? James, what
What's it called? I'm very excited for Marty Supreme with Timothée Chalamet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that I am looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to
If
that.
Terrence Malick's The Way the Wind somehow releases this year, which it 0% will.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's not going to happen.
And then there's the mastermind Kelly Reichardt. I like Kelly Reichardt a lot as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
who else?
There's a lot coming out the rest of this year. The Naked Gun, as far as like summer things I'm looking forward to, that's probably the next summer release I'm looking forward to.
Oh, it looks so good. Yeah.
Because I want that.
Jaws
movie.
re-release.
Oh, that too. But that's undeniable. I mean, that's just one of the
Nope.
most perfect films.
I mean, Del Toro's Frankenstein.
That I'm really hyped for, but I'm pissed that it's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Like I would be
Netflix,
so
yeah.
much more excited about that film if I could see it in a theater, and the fact that
wanna
I
see
know
it
I
in
probably
the-
won't
in-
pisses me off.
I want to see it so bad.
Yeah. That movie infuriates me.
Bugonia. I'm excited for Bugonia.
Yeah.
No, that's.
Oh, Nouvelle Vogue. I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I'm
I've
curious.
been wanting
about.
to get into Godard.
I'm worried it won't be good.
Because I saw.
Go die.
I think it will. I think it's going to be like
But I
every
like
other
Breathless.
Linklater film.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like every other Linklater film. It's just
Yeah.
an ultimate hangout.
And Hitman was so good.
Yeah, Hitman was really good.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
what's y'all's favorite Linklater?
I've really only seen
Hitman.
Hitman, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think I've only seen Hitman. So yeah, it has to be Hitman. But I need to see Boyhood. I
Hitman.
need to see the Before trilogy. I still have not cracked into.
No, that's untrue. Yeah,
I think
before Sunset.
There you go. I knew you'd get there.
I'd say Everybody Wants Some is probably mine.
So very good.
That's good. Glenn, you're a Glenn guy is what we're realizing in this conversation.
Well,
Glenn.
yeah. The Running Man is also coming out.
Oh yeah. You know what? The one thing that we haven't talked about that actually should be at the top of all our lists, and we have to revise now: sentimental value.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for Cinema. I haven't seen The Worst Person in the World.
You haven't?
I've been wanting to.
Hayden.
I want to ride the Criterion.
I haven't seen it either.
It's a great movie. Like I cannot over-exaggerate.
We're forgetting about Weapons too.
Yeah, but the problem with Weapons is that they just used AI in one of their trailers for an animated segment, which is not ideal for Zach, your great filmmaker. But no, there's a lot of good movies coming out this year.
Yeah, I'm expecting fall to be really interesting.
Yeah,
but
he hasn't seen Eddington. That's a movie you should be looking for.
I'm fine. I'm going in with like very neutral expectations. I really liked Hereditary, but that's the only Ari Aster I've seen. I'm a good calm middle ground with him, I think, right now. So I'm setting my expectations at a normal level.
Good.
I have a friend who loves Beau is Afraid, like adores Beau is Afraid.
I like Beau is Afraid.
And he keeps trying to get me to watch it, and I have not yet, so I feel bad. If I like this enough, maybe I'll watch it again soon.
Eddington is in its own realm of wackiness and craziness. I don't want to get into
yeah, we don't have to right now, but I will let you know. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think if anything else, I have seen one Ari Aster short. I take that back. I've seen C'est La Vie, so I've seen 2 of his projects, and I've enjoyed both of them thoroughly. So I enjoy him. Anyway, we should probably wrap up. I gotta go catch my Eddington screening soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta eat dinner.
And that.
All right. Well, thank you, anybody who listened to this podcast. It's really fun to talk about. And if anybody would like to plug any short films or your letterbox or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, that would be best.
Yeah. Do you want to start, Hayden, and then let's work around in the circle?
Yeah. So my letterbox is the Hayden Mark 5. That's what I'm gonna promote because I love letterbox. Yep.
All right. Great.
And my letterbox is Jacob._.mxs.
Fire.
Yeah. My Instagram is Miller_Boo, BOUGH. And my Letterboxd is Millman Rocks is the username. Or if you just search up Miller Boo, BOUGH again, you should find it. Or you can follow me on my website, millerboo.com. Got blogs, stuff like that, and hyperlinks to all my socials. So, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. And then hopefully our other host, Josiah, will be able to attend. But what's the pod episode next week? Do we know? Is it going to be fantastic?
I don't know yet. I guess it has to be.
Fantastic Four, Eddington.
Yeah, we can touch back on Eddington a little, and move on to
so hopefully,
Fantastic Four.
So that's that's our thoughts on Superman. It's a Gunn glaze chest.
The gun didn't jam.
Very great.
The gun didn't.
If not, amazing. There we go.
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Well, see you guys next week.
Yep. Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye. All right.